What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music, and the second is a new podcast I just launched called Chasing Infinity. It is available on my YouTube music channel, and it is myself and ChatGPT as my AI co-host, and we dive into a wide range of topics. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Links in the description below, and I appreciate the support. Okay, let's dive into the topic of today's video, which is cost, because with the team during the previous downhaul, with Mac giving, how much things cost, and we kind of knew that 250K was like a rough run rate, although now he's saying that 250K is like where they're at if they remove Cryptomancer, and with the more recent cuts, like that's what they're trying to get to and stick to, and hopefully, I don't know, actually maybe even reduce it further. I thought it'd be interesting to compare this to a larger game in the space. Now, I'm not looking at anything Web3 because I think that's much more difficult to determine at this point. But I was looking at Hearthstone, right? So I typed in, and you can recreate this, right? So I'm using the Brave search, the AI search thing. So it kind of gave me put together an answer here. But I asked it, how much did it cost to make Hearthstone? Now, it's here. Let's just break it down, okay? So employee salaries in 2005, the average cost for a game development employee was around $100,000 per year. Adjusted for inflation, that'd be $150 to $200 per year. That's kind of how much Cryptomancer is making right now, or at least how much the DAO would be paying him. Assuming half of the Hearthstone team, around 50 people, work on cards, and considering outsourcing artists and voice creators or voice actors, the estimated salary cost would be around $20 million base per employee. Then you got card development costs, right? Estimate provides such as around $30,000 per card, considering the team size, salaries, and all this other stuff. Would be about $18 million. So other expenses, the search results did not provide a comprehensive breakdown of other expenses, but such as infrastructure, equipment, and overhead costs. However, these costs would likely add to the overall development cost. Based on these estimates, I want you to focus here. 20 million plus 18 million, it would cost approximately 38 to 40 million per year. So please know that these estimates are rough and based on limited information. The actual costs are probably somewhat different, but I thought this was fascinating. 38 to 40 million per year, because as of now, where Splinterlands is at and where they're trying to be at, they're trying to make, their costs are about $3 million per year, right? Or at least that's where Matt is trying to have this balance where, hey, revenue can come in at roughly 3 million, and we spend roughly 3 million, and the company just breaks even, and we keep on delivering new things. So this is literally like 10 to 12, 13 times more for something like Hearthstone. Now, I know what you're immediately going to do and be like, well, Hearthstone is definitely 10 to 13 times better than Splinterlands. But some of this, I want you to understand, is okay, there's overhead costs, right? Infrastructure, all those things. Some of it is like marginal improvements here and there. So I get it. But can you imagine what this game would like if we had 10x the amount of players too, but 10x the amount of capital? Now, here's the thing. What you're immediately going to point to is the fact that, the team was flush with cash following the last thing, and look at what they did. They didn't spend it well, right? They went in a bunch of different directions, and things just kind of collapsed on themselves, and it was just poor management. And you're not wrong. I'm not gonna disagree with you there, right? I think a lot of that has been proven. Whether the player base has said so, whether the team has said so in many ways, right? Just not a focus on the core game. That's what Matt came in and was trying to navigate the ship and reprioritize. So sure, you're gonna have that, right? Although I don't think that they had 10x the amount of money back then, right? 10 to 12x, whatever it is, the amount of money. I don't think maybe they were sitting on $40 million. I have no idea. But at this point in time, if we're comparing one to the other, I'm just thinking about where development has been, the pace of development that the team has had this year. Yes, I know new player experience has been very slow. Land has been even slower, right? But if you can imagine where things are at right now, what the team has been able to deliver despite having a scaled down team, and then having a much more robust and just wider range of things that they would be able to do if they had that not 10 million, but the 10x, right? Instead of $3 million of cost, they had more, but obviously had the revenue to be able to cover that. So again, this is not an apples to apples comparison. These numbers are totally rough here, but I did want to give folks a little bit of context because I think that's important. And I know a lot of people, this is going to fly right over your heads, and you're going to be like, "Oh, if Splinterlands had that money, then it wouldn't matter, right?" Or like blah blah blah. Like I know, like the bears are going to come out in full force. But for the folks that are kind of just sitting in the middle and like wondering, like, yeah, I'm not really sure like how things are, or like, is $3 million a lot? Is it a little? Well, here's context for you, right? $40 million a year to create one of the top games in the space. And then if you want to dive into something like Parallel, right? And again, I don't even know where their recent funding is at, but they're receiving millions of dollars in funding, maybe even tens of millions of dollars in funding in the recent past. So these companies have lots of money to work with. They have lots of money to bring in developers, to bring in artists, to bring in all these different types of things where Splinterlands just doesn't. And you can look at that and say, well, you know, there's already been a bunch of criticism, but to be able to run the game that they have, which again, I find enjoyable. It's fun. There's people here that are playing. There's people here that are still investing, right? Not financial advice. I'm not telling you to do anything, but there are people here who are still buying tons of assets in the space. What they're doing on 3 million, right? And 3 million in terms of like capital every year or expenses every year, I don't want to say is impressive because I think that would be going a little far, and that would definitely offend some of the bears out there. But it's definitely within the context of this framework of larger games costing $38 to $40 million a year. I think 3 million fits. Right, 3 million for what the team is doing fits. Not only that, they've had to overhaul a lot of what the old code base was. And they haven't really been focusing on a lot of the new features and stuff that we all want, right? Land being one of them. I still want guild stuff, overhaul the tournaments, things like that. So if you can imagine what this game would look like if the team even had 10x the salaries, right? Even 2x, right? Just the amount of people that are working on this. We could have gotten NPE sooner. We could have gotten our guild alliances. Maybe we would have had land a little bit sooner. So again, were there mistakes in the past? Absolutely. I'm not going to dispute you on that. But to look at this was kind of eye-opening for me. I didn't realize just how expensive some of these games could be. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Very curious to hear your feedback on this, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.